From the IMTV Wave Channel 5 studio at Greenville Senior High School, home of the Greenville Green Wave, the Greenville Veterans Memorial Park and Digital Library proudly presents Never Stop Serving.
I'm Matthew Kinley, and we're here for the season finale of Never Stop Serving. It's been a good season. I've learned a lot of things. I've made a lot of new experiences. And today we're here with our dear friend and #1 star, David Jones, who's going to become the 3rd District American Legion Commander, correct?
Yes, that's right.
So, Dave, give the camera what they want.
Well, I'll tell you what, let me give you a little recap about what's happened since we talked last time. I will be commander. I will be elected on June 3rd, if everything goes right. I will be installed as commander of the 3rd District on July 5th. And then I start a full year as commander. I'll go around. I have to go around and check posts and make sure all the posts are up. In October, actually, in the end of October, we'll be going to the 100th convention for the American Legion. Last one was the 99th convention. This is the beginning of the 100th year of the existence of the American Legion, and we're really excited about that. Next year, the convention will be in Indianapolis, Indiana, which is where our headquarters is at. So it should be a good year, I hope.
So,
God willing, the creek don't rise too high.
Let's hope. So, we've talked more than just, we've seen each other since then.
Yes.
But they've been kind of spread out for the past few months. So, in the time, let's just say, since the last time we talked in Reno, what all has happened at the American Legion? What's all happened with the new leaders, new members, anything like that?
Well, we've got of course, you interviewed the new commander, right. Female, Denise. Denise has been doing a great job. We've had a lot of things going on with legislation. American Legion's constantly in Washington, D.C. Dealing with veterans issues. Right now we're dealing with the absence of a VA secretary. We haven't had a secretary of the VA for about 5 or 6 months now, which makes it bad, so we've been working trying to get that resolved, along with legislation dealing with veterans' rights and veterans' benefits. As far as the 3rd District, everything seems to be going great. We cover 7 counties. I think I talked to you about that last time. And everything seems to be going pretty good. I got my staff already selected for next year.
That's good.
I just got me an adjutant, a brand new member, only been a member 2 years in the Legion, so starting to get them involved early, which is the idea, get people involved as early as you can. This year I've been working on membership. Matter of fact, yesterday I just prepared about 150 letters, I guess about 350 letters that we're mailing out to expired members. A lot of people these days don't like to join organizations, and it's very important to have numbers when you're dealing with Congress. You look at the National Rifle Association, AARP, all these organizations have a lot of members, and when leadership speaks, it's with all the members in mind. So, it's you need, membership is very, very important, and our membership has been declining over the years. We've got a lot of World War II vets that are dying off pretty rapidly. You've got Korean War vets that are dying off pretty rapidly. And Vietnam era vets, which I'm involved in, and they're starting to die off pretty rapidly. So we need to get the new Lebanon Grenada vets involved, and the Persian Gulf War vets involved, and so. But that's the big push right now. And if anybody out there knows of any veterans not an American Legion member, you should consider joining. If not for no other reason, you want to get involved at all. For no other reason than to help us legislation, to help other veterans with us preparing legislation and pushing legislation through Congress.
Right. So I know I asked you this in Reno. I think the other time we kind of touched on it, but has this, in the time since we talked, has it been able to go in the direction that you liked? I know you had mentioned like some key points on things you think needed to happen, and I think that's what you just kind of said. But overall, do you think it's kind of going in the right direction?
It's always a work in progress. It's like anything else, any organization. High school is the same thing. It's always a work in progress. You find different ways to do things, better ways to do things. You make mistakes along the way, and you try to correct the mistakes and make it better. And I think we're moving in the right direction. With some of the legislation going through Congress, we've had a few problems, but it's been pretty good. We've been pretty successful in most of our endeavors for veterans' rights, especially in this day and age, after Vietnam and the way the vets were treated coming back from Nam. Things have changed around drastically, and it's amazing how many times you walk into a place and somebody's always willing to thank a veteran for working, even vets thanking veterans. So you've got a lot of organizations really pushing to help veterans. Home Depot's one of them, Lowe's is one of them. There's a lot of organizations out there willing to help veterans these days, where in the past it wasn't quite so easy to get the assistance that you needed for different posts and whatever. So, but yeah, I think things are moving forward.
So since I don't think you've not been in here yet. We've met on the train, we've met out of town, but we've not had you in here. And in the past couple episodes, I've kind of have a habit of asking the people I interview, after they kind of go over their military experience, they kind of say what all it's taught them. They say things they've learned, whether it be good or bad, and how what they've learned can help others. So I don't think I've asked you that officially. What experience have you had that you think has taught you and can help teach others?
Well, if there's anybody out there that's thinking about the military, it builds character, and it don't matter which branch. I'm a Marine, and once a Marine, always a Marine. We have 3 types of Marines: dead Marines, actually 4 types: dead Marines, retired Marines, inactive Marines, and active Marines. So I'm a Marine, but don't matter what branch of service you go in, they all build character. They teach discipline. They teach teamwork. And those are all very important characteristics to have when you're going through life. It helps you in businesses. Thanks to the American Legion and the VFW, as far as that goes, we managed to get legislation passed that now a veteran that earns a certificate in the military could bring that certificate out to private life. So if you're a truck driver in the military, you can actually be a truck driver in civilian life without any extra training or anything. And these are all good things. In the past, if you're an electrician in the military, you had to come out and go through the whole rigmarole again. You don't have to do that anymore. So things like that. It's always moved forward and always positive. But the military builds character. If you have no place else to go, if you're thinking about going to college, think about taking ROCT and becoming an officer in the military. It's a very good, eye-opening experience. Unfortunately, war isn't fun for anybody, and we've been in a war situation since 1990 to present, and it doesn't look like it's going to end anytime soon. But that there is also part of the experience, and it gives you an eye-opening resolution. Makes you think about life a little bit.
So war may not end anytime soon, but helping learn, it can start to get better.
Yes. Hopefully, in the end, people realize that war is not the way to solve problems.
So this kind of ties in with what we were talking about, but usually how we end these, or at least a big point of them is, and you can look at the camera for this, if you had something to say to young vets, old vets, anyone watching this, what would it be to help know that, okay, there's a lot of veterans in sort of tough places right now, and they might need someone to kind of tell them it's going to get better? I
think I would tell people to be involved. Get involved in the community. There's so many organizations out there, veterans organizations and civilian organizations that are constantly looking for volunteers. I lived in California for 37 years. The Marine Corps took me to California. My kids all lived in California. They still live in California, except for one of them. And you know, if you know, I was involved in all kinds of charities. After I got out of the Marine Corps, I was working for the post office. I came back to Piqua and asked United Way for places that need volunteers, because I always like to be involved. That's a big thing, you know, get involved in the community, helping people. And they gave me a book of places that needed volunteers. So there's a lot of positions out there, a lot of volunteer positions. American Legion, the district officers, we're all volunteers. We volunteer to do this to help veterans, and you know, that's what it's all about. If we don't get involved in the community, you don't get involved in helping your fellow man, you know, the society isn't going to get any better.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to try to move on, and there are a lot of veterans out there that are homeless, a lot of female veterans that are homeless, which is sad. There's a lot of veterans that are suffering from PTSD and other illnesses, other diseases, which a lot of people don't understand, but they need some help, you know, and if people would get involved, it would help out drastically in those types of areas.
I've heard a lot of people on the show this past season say, even if a veteran themselves doesn't see this, if you're a family member or a friend, or you know a veteran, go out to them and get help for them. Is what I've heard a lot. Is like, you can help them too if they don't want to. If they don't have a way of contacting, then you can go out of your way to help them and help them improve their condition.
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of organizations out there. Every county has a service officers organization that's there basically to serve veterans. Miami County's in Troy. I'm not exactly sure what Dark County is that. But every county has it. Right now, the state has funds that out of the budget they give to these organizations to help veterans. It could be with cash, it could be with housing, it could be to pay bills. They have buses that transport vets. They also need volunteers. Almost every post in the American Legion at one point or another can use volunteers for different functions. So yeah, you know, and if you see a vet that's in need, if they don't, a lot of times the pride gets the best of them and they don't really want to reach out for help. But if you can guide them maybe in the right direction, give them advice to maybe go or go to the American Legion post. Most American Legion posts will talk to them and get them taken care of for what their needs might be.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? I think you put that very well.
Yeah. Well, I don't talk very much, but
you don't talk much, but when you do,
so
it's
anyway,
great.
I'll tell you what, I've got some awards to hand out. If
say their names and give Matt his.
Okay, Tyler Fleming is one of them. Certificate of appreciation for working in the digital library.
All right.
Okay. Matt, this is one for you.
Wonder who that is.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
Yeah. And this is for Kevin Gully. Appreciation for working in the Veterans Digital Library.
And we're all here right now. We're just off camera, so we.
And this one here is for Carter Cox.
Right.
Also for appreciation for working in the digital library.
Well, I know that they'll appreciate
believe me,
this.
I appreciate all the efforts and stuff and this is Jace Lovett. So, and I appreciate all the work you guys have done in doing this. It's it's beneficial to get the word out, and veterans organizations want people to know that we're here to help vets. If any vet's in need of anything, if the posts can't help them, or if they can't find somebody to help them, they can always go to a post. They go to the Veterans Service Organization, go to VA Hospital. VA Hospital has veterans service representative in the lobby. And they're there to help you file claims or do whatever is necessary to get help, any help that you may need, or just answer questions. So just there's a lot of resources out there.
You just have to look.
The general public, though, you need to get involved. You need to get out there and volunteer. And there are plenty of volunteer positions. Plenty of them. You can do just about anything you want to.
Well, thank you again, Dave, for meeting with me. And it's we're gonna wrap this up. But I just want to thank Mike's off camera right now. He's hiding his face, but I want to thank him and the VFW, the American Legion, and everybody who's been able to help me and my friends sort of learn and gain experience from all of this. And hopefully this can lead into our futures and help us with future endeavors. So thank you again, and thank all of you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you for watching. Please visit us on our social media sites. Please consider contributing to our mission in some way. Also, we are always looking for veterans and their families to share their stories with us. Be sure to join us next week for our next episode of Never Stop Serving.